Good morning, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Ratnaningsih and my partner is Miftahul Hidayah. Today, we will share about our research. The topic of the research was fostering student motivation to learn mathematics through STEM project using 4D frame toolkits. COVID-19 forced students to do online learning in remote area. It is not easy because of unstable signal and minimum support from their parents. It makes students have low motivation to learn mathematics. They think that mathematics is a difficult subject. My students prefer playing online game than study. And less than 50% active in learning online. This is a big challenge for teachers. Teachers should be creative to design lesson plan. That's why I decided to apply STEM and 4D frame in my class and analyze change student motivation. The question of this study is, does the STEM approach and 4D frame can increase student motivation in learning mathematics? If it works, it can be alternative to learn mathematics. Motivation is eagerness and willingness to do something without needing to be told or forced to do it. Motivation can be indirect observed through cognitive, emotional, and behavior. The motivation on learning mathematics can be influenced by change in the teaching approach. The different teaching strategy design have a positive effect on learning motivation, satisfaction, and learning effectiveness. One kind of approach is STEM. STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics. One of impact applying STEM approach is student more enthusiastic on learning mathematics. Integrated STEM education aims to offer increased accessibility for all students through activities that are developed with love for high ceiling and white walls, and attend to student interest, motivation, and engagement in learning. In these studies, the researcher used 4D frame as a media to learn mathematics. This study is classroom action research with 2 cycles. The participants are 15 7th grade students in SMPN 3 Arjasa. The instruments are questionnaire and observation sheet. In the first cycle, students learn triangle and quadrilaterals by making balls from straw. We found something interesting. In the third picture, the student used raffia as a connector. When the teacher asks, "Why did you use raffia?" the student does not answer the question, but responds by stating that he will replace the connector. So, the student assumes that the teacher's question states that he made a mistake. In the second cycle, students design an agent taxi, then make a miniature using the 4D frame toolkit. During the activity, an interesting thing was found when the teacher asked the student to raise their hand when answering or giving their opinion, but the student did not dare to speak. Students feel afraid if they give a wrong answer. However, there was something surprising when making a miniature agent taxi. The student did several experiments by making several types of wheels, so the speed of the agent taxi was better. This means that students have the motivation to complete their project perfectly. Let's see the result. From motivation chart, we can see that the questionnaire before the action showed that there were 6.67% of students who had low motivation, while in the first cycle, students with low motivation changed to 0% or no student had low learning motivation. At the end of the second cycle, there are 6.67% of students who have moderate learning motivation, 66.67% of students have high learning motivation, and 26.67% of students have very high motivation. This means that learning mathematics with the STEM approach is able to increase the motivation to learn mathematics for 7th grade students at SMPN 3 Arjasa. This chart is about student activity during the lesson. From this chart, we can see that there was an increase in the activity of first cycle to second cycle. The average increase in activity is 28.82%. In general, learning mathematics with the STEM approach using 4D frame is able to increase student activity during learning. This shows that student learning motivation also increases. But in the point C, E, and H, the percentage are still under 75%. C is student active answer question, E is student giving opinion, and H is student ask question. It means that more than 1 in 4 students would not dare to communicate with the teacher. The conclusion of this study is learning mathematics using STEM approach and 4D frame can increase student motivation on learning mathematics, especially for 7th grade students in SMPN 3 Arjasa. The other findings of this study are students still have low communication skill and self-confidence. The second, students are more enthusiastic in offline learning than online. The last, the challenge for teachers are how keep students' motivation high by many ways to teaching, and how to communication with students that have different languages. That's all for me. If any question or advice, please feeling free. I will appreciate them. Thank you very much. Terima kasih and see you later.